The Achievers Honors is very important to MVP because I think it's important that we all take the time to allow ourselves to celebrate the success stories that are happening right here in our region. And also the fact that business is hard. We all know that. And it's worthwhile to take the time to celebrate people who have taken risks, who've had a vision, and who've managed to achieve that vision, and to show that it can be done. That, to me, that's something you have to stop and celebrate. I think there are a lot of interesting changes happening in our community today. Certainly the development of technology, what we've seen happen with nanotech and all of the economic driver that has turned out to be. I think some of the cultural evolution in our community has been great. And I think that there is a different level of collaboration happening now in our region, which is very exciting to see because we know that we have these gems in each of our communities, in each of our own hometowns, but to be able to put it together and leverage it to an even greater good is really where it's at. We'd really like to recognize the Schenectady City Mission. They've just been such a great partner with MVP. We work together on the weekend backpack program that helps to provide food to the school children in Schenectady over the weekends, and we are now also partnering with them for the ambassador program, and just they're a delight to work with. We really respect the work that we're doing, a truly great community partner. On behalf of MVP Healthcare, congratulations to the 2015 Albany Business Review Achievers. You've helped make our region an especially great place to live and work.
M&T continues to support the Achievers Award, and every year I am absolutely astounded by the talent, the depth of people, the organizations that we're able to highlight and showcase to the broader community. This year's list of achievers is chock full of awesome organizations and individuals. You know, you can go through the entire list from Bob Curley to Ken Raymond to Dean DeVito to Schmaltz Brewing, to City Mission, on and on and on. Robert Jones, the work he's done at U Albany. It's just an impressive list of people and organizations that continue to do great things in this region. And we love to be a part of that success and really showcasing that success to the broader community. I think small business has historically been the backbone of our economy. It grows jobs, it grows creativity. And our job, if we do it well, is to identify opportunities for those small businesses, help them invest, guide them, provide them with advice, and help them to grow. So small business is everything. And you look at all the communities around here, small businesses become medium businesses, and they grow and they grow and they grow. And we've seen that happen here, and there's numerous examples. On behalf of M&T Bank and all of my colleagues, thank you for being here this evening. The Achievers Award is special to our company, and we're thrilled to be a part of it. But more importantly, to all of the Achievers, thanks for the great work that you do in this community. Have a great evening.
Well, City Mission of Schenectady was formed in 1906, so it's almost 110 years old. It came about in the industrialization of Schenectady, particularly with the arrival of General Electric. And as is often the case, people fall through the cracks, and very concerned people noticed this, and it was a growing problem in the city, and wanted to come up with a program that would not only give people a safe place to be, but the opportunity to get better and get back on their feet. So that has really never changed at City Mission. We've always been a place not only to help people with their urgent problems, but to give them capacity for a better tomorrow. There's always been great need. Sadly, that continues to be the case today, but there have been major changes. One of the struggles that we face today is one of the great challenges is that women and children represent an ever-growing percentage of the homeless population. Look at old City Mission photos. You don't see women and children. Today, more and more, they're the ones. So that's caused us to build new facilities, to develop new programs. Working at a place like City Mission, you're struck by two things on almost a daily basis. Number one, the enormity and the severity of the need. You never lose sight of that. But secondly, the potential of people. As you get to know people, when you get beneath their struggles and the hardships that brought them here, you see so much giftedness, so much potential, so many powerful life experiences. So what we want to do is provide training. We want to give people educations. We want to equip them for today's workplace, teach them workplace etiquette, give them relevant skills, and then once they get a job, help them to stay on that job and build careers. We're now seeing them as having a place at the table and making a very concrete, positive impact in Schenectady's revitalization. So we think that's a defining moment.
Capital Region is fantastic for a brand like us. We're kind of a niche national brand, and we've never had a true home because I didn't own a brewery. And now with our own home, our own tasting room here at Schmaltz Brewing in Clifton Park, we've got this wonderful Capital Region that didn't have quite as many breweries as places like New York City and Portland and Seattle and San Francisco. Most of the beers honestly start as a punchline, an inside joke, or brainstorming about a holiday. And I usually start with the concept, and then I work with my lead brewer, Richie Saunders, here in town, and we come up with the recipe, and I tell him what the beer style I want, and what kind of flavors we're looking for, and then he makes the magic happen in terms of malts, hops, alcohol. And then on the packaging side, I'll tell my art director the concept for the label, and then he ends up cooking up these beautiful packaging that's beyond anything I could have imagined in the beginning. But it all takes a lot of tweaking and a lot of back and forth, and it's honestly, it's the most fun part of the job, is this bursts of creativity that then have to be honed over and over and over and edited over and over, and it's a really satisfying process. It's funny, a friend of mine asked me recently, he said, "So are you still having fun?" And I said, "I'm not totally sure if fun's the way you should judge your business. It's certainly part of it, and I have a lot of fun, but a lot of times it's more about being meaningful and feeling like you're able to set a goal for yourself and accomplish that."
Many defining moments. I think one was the ability to come in and get the university community excited about a more compelling vision, announcing and reforming our College of Computing and Information into a College of Engineering and Applied Sciences. We had the pleasure of announcing an affiliation with Albany Law School, and the governor has given us responsibility for developing the first integrated college of emergency preparedness, homeland security, and cybersecurity in the country, as well as developing the most sophisticated weather detection system. So we've had a busy 2.5-year period. Each of these things are kind of game changers for this university. It really puts us on a much different path to excellence than it's been on before. Everyone, I think, understands that higher education historically, particularly research universities, have been in many ways the drivers of economic development. And that historically has been, we create the intellectual property that the business takes and basically use it to drive commerce, create jobs, etc. The public sector has been a major employer in the past. That is what has driven our GDP. What's come out of this Upstate Revitalization Initiative was the opportunity to take a deep dive, look at the data, and really understand not only the opportunities, but the challenges for the region and what we must do collectively to build on the growth that has occurred over the last 5 to 10 years. We've been dubbed as one of the most highly educated regions in the state, if not the nation. But the challenge we have is we don't have the jobs that can permit a large number of those students to stay in the region. How do we continue to educate the best and the brightest students? But also, how do we work with the tech sector? How do we work with the private sector to create the jobs that will keep them here? And a lot of that has to do with revitalization of the downtown.
The whole process that resulted in our decision to rebrand really started about 3 years ago. What we really wanted to know is, what should we be going forward? What should our brand stand for? What should our brand promise be? We wanted to make sure that we continue to be relevant and earn the long-term loyalty of our customers for a very long time. So we went back and we looked at our strengths and our weaknesses. It was a very introspective process, and sometimes a difficult process to come to terms with what we could do better, and then had a really great conversation around what customers are looking for in a shopping experience.
To change our brand and be more relevant are the indicators that we look at all the time, and that is our customer research. That is our foundation, we believe, for everything we do. And as customer research began to tell us that we needed to think about the changing trends, the changing customers, that caused us to begin to think about, how do we meet that challenge? How do we look at ourselves internally to make sure that we can satisfy those customers in the future? So I like to say that our customers created the vision.
We really looked at it as an experience, and having that brand vision was very useful in helping us to determine what we needed to accomplish. So when we held up the brand vision and we started asking the questions, what should the colors look like? What should the personality of the store be? What should the products really focus on in the store? What should our people focus on, and how should they behave? We understood that what we were talking about wasn't a name change, it wasn't even a rebranding, it was a complete redesign of the shopping experience, and we really needed to reflect what our customers are looking for today and what they will be looking for in the future in that experience. One of the things we realized as we went through this brand work, while we do a really great job of attracting the loyalty of the baby boomers, we really needed to do a better job of attracting the younger customer, who's going to be so important to our success going forward. And so the brand vision really is designed to attract and appeal to that younger customer, as well as our core customer, the baby boomer, who continues to be very important to us. After we finished understanding and designing the store around the brand vision, only then did we really look at the name.
Once we did that, we realized we did need to change our brand architecture, and built that brand architecture over a number of months, almost 2 years. That brand architecture now informs everything we do. And in this case, it informed the new design of what we call Market 32 today. When we took a look at that go-to-market strategy, we took a look at that experience, how it's going to relate to the customer, we realized very quickly that the brand price chopper did not fit real well on the front of that offering. And thus it caused us to begin to think about a new brand label for that new store. And a lot of data, a lot of research, and a lot of people to finally conclude on Market 32. A nod to our heritage, a name that reflects the brand exactly, and also reflects the experience that we think the customers have when they shop our stores, and also the people in the store all the way back to this building as well.
Prime Companies is a company of many partnerships and affiliations. It's all about people. We're basically in the hotel business, the apartment business, the real estate brokerage business. From there it went to development of subdivisions, building homes. It may look subliminal to a lot of people, but it's the part of the business I enjoy. We've had such great success in developing people and people staying with us for a long period of time, and the most enjoyment I get out of it is watching people come into their own. And that's the basic focus of what we're doing now. The project that I'm most proud of is what we've done outside of the company, particularly in Catholic Charities. Camp Scully was closed when we became involved. We ran the water, we ran the sewers, we donated a dining hall. We routed a road so the camp could be developed. There was an individual one day that drove out there and says, you know what this camp needs? It needs kayaks. And that afternoon, 12 kayaks were delivered. So it got us into doing other things besides building our company, giving back to the community. And that's the part of this company I enjoy the most. By having all these different partners and everybody stepping forward, when we decide to embrace something that has been of great consequence to me, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
I moved to the Capital Region back in 1990, came up as president of KeyBank, had been president of KeyBank down on Long Island earlier in the 80s, and had an offer at the time from Victor Riley, who said you can be the president of KeyBank or you can be the teller at any branch you want on Long Island if you want to stay on Long Island. Thus, my entire family moved up here in 1990, and 25 years later, we've never looked back. There are two types of change in our industry that have a great impact on all of us. One is something you have very little control over. As far as technology, you can go one of two ways. You can either be lagging behind, and I think most companies, from a financial point of view, do tend to lag behind somewhat. If you're a fast follower, that makes sense. If you are at a point where we're not going to change with the times, I think ultimately you're writing a death warrant there. I've always tried to hire the best people, focus on the person first, and surround yourself with the best possible talent that you can find at all levels. They have to have a certain spark. They have to have thirst to make a difference. If it's not right for the person, I don't care if it's right for the company or not, don't do it. We're now seeing a collaboration in this marketplace where we're really selling ourselves as a region. And that to me is critical. Been a strong proponent of that, been a proponent of that in business, to where we get people to function as a team as opposed to as individuals, and the power is enormous. What you don't want to do is you don't want to stifle creativity and an entrepreneurial mindset, have everybody just holding hands and saying kumbaya. We want people to really still have that individual spark that they have, but bring it in a collaborative fashion with the proverbial 1 + 1 = 3.